Hey everybody, what's going on? It is Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today I'm going to continue my top 100 beyond the 100 games. Now, it's been a minute. I've been trying to get this done, but I've been slacking, so I apologize. So I'm going to do it now, and without further ado, we're going to start with number 180, and we're going to end with number 171. Okay, so let's go. Number 180 is actually a game that I've had for quite some time. It's a nice little ice. Well, not, I guess not really ice, but you choose. But it's a game where you're trying to collect different tiles, and you're on your turn. You're either going to take a tile out of a bag and put it on one of these trucks, or you're going to take a truck and build a zoo. And the game is called Zoo Loretto. And in this, you're just trying to get these different kinds of tiles here. You can kind of see it on the screen. Um, and you're trying to get them each of the same type of animal into their own enclosure. If this would quit jumping around, that would be nice. So you can see on the board here, like there's different kinds of enclosures, and only one kind of animal can go in each enclosure. If you can do that, you get a whole pile of points. If you take something and you can't put it in an enclosure, goes in your barn, you lose some points. You're also trying to get different vendors and all that stuff to help you in your point journey. Really fun game. We have an expansion that we haven't even tried yet. Maybe two expansions. I don't know. We picked it up at Origins from the Rio Grande booth because you know how I love that booth. But this is a really fun game. It's not really necessarily a great looking game, but it is a ton of fun. And I will always play it if somebody wants to. So that's where we are. So my number 180, Zoo Loretto. Number 179 is actually a game that I don't know how many people have heard of. And this is called Livingstone. And this is a game where basically you're this scientist, his name's Livingstone, or Livingston or something, I'm not sure what his name is. But you're effectively trying to move around this map, set up tents, get different kinds of money, take different kinds of actions. It's a dice drafting game. With a little bit of push your luck, you're going to be moving around this map, setting up some tents. You're going to be drawing gems out of a bag. Different gems are worth money. You can bust. But what the real interesting thing about this game is everybody has these little chests here. And throughout the game, you're going to be giving money to the queen. And if you give the least amount of money to the queen, you lose. And that is no bueno. 1 out of 10, do not recommend. So you're trying to balance how much money you're giving to the queen, how much money you're keeping for yourself, so you can have points, all that kind of thing. And it's just a ton of fun. It shows its age. It's the same designer that did Hadara, I think. Let me look at that. Schwer. Benjamin Schwer. I don't think that's what he goes by on here. It was something else. What is it? Yeah, sure. Um, it's a fun game. If you haven't tried this, you can get it for trade or for cheap online. I would recommend trying it. It's fun and I enjoy it. So that's my number 179, Livingstone. I don't know how you say it. Number 178 is a Uwe Rosenberg classic that I don't play as much as I used to. I don't know why. I got a pile of games. That's probably why. But this is Le Havre. And this is effectively a worker placement game, sort of. You have one worker or two workers, I can't remember. I think one. And you're going to these different buildings and you're trying to, well, you're moving your ship for a while. You're going to collect some goods. Then you're going to be putting your worker, would you stop moving thing? Putting your worker on these different buildings to activate the buildings to basically convert goods into different kinds of goods. So you can convert meat into leather or like fish into smoked fish, all that kind of thing. And you're also trying to buy ships to help sell these goods to foreign markets or domestic markets, wherever they're going, to score points, money points. That's the game. It has a lot of weird. The setup's kind of weird. It has a lot of rules overhead for kind of a simple game, but it's one that I do enjoy. I would probably play other Uwe games more than this, but if somebody wanted to play it, I would definitely not say no, and I would have a good time doing it. So that is my number 178, Le Havre. My number 177, I just actually got in a trade. And this is a game that I played, I think, twice, and I really enjoy it. And it's called Chimera Station. And this is a game, it's a worker placement game, basically, where you have workers that you can upgrade with different pieces. So you can see on this picture here that the workers are going to have different attachments that you can put into them. So that's red and purple workers, but you're going to have different middle pieces that you're going to be putting into these things to help them do different things throughout the game. So I may go to a place that lets me do something if I have a red attachment, or if I have a green attachment on my person, I no longer have to feed that guy because they can feed out themselves. I don't know. Don't think about it too much. But it's a really fun game. You're building out this map that's on the board. You're trying to just use as many of these different tiles as you can to take actions, and you're just trying to get the most points throughout the game, of course. It's a pretty simple game, but the way that the pieces work together and upgrade is really a ton of fun. And I can't wait to play it again. I actually have my computer sitting on the box right now, looking at it, so that makes me excited. Can't wait to play it again, and it might go up even higher, so who knows. So that is my number 177, Chimera Station. 176 is a game that I would like to play more, but it's kind of a beast. And it's called Clinic. And this is the deluxe edition. That's the version that I have. The old one it has a different box. And this one just looks better. It's got, tool art. Effectively, what you're doing is you're running a hospital and you're trying to basically create a layout in your hospital in 3 different floors, I believe, or however many you want to play. Um, where you can easily get patients to the offices that they need to treat them. You also have to park cars. You also want to have some green space. So if patients are looking out, they can see green space. You also need to have nurses. You need to have doctors of certain colors because certain people could get too bad and a regular doctor may not be able to help them. Just a ton of stuff going on here. And I really enjoy it. It's a puzzle. It's a beast. But it's a ton of fun. You can see just by looking at that if this is going to be a game for you or not. This is the ground floor. That's the 4th floor. This tile is directly above that tile. So it's kind of abstract looking at it, but once you get it, you get it. So much stuff going on. I'm not going to even try to explain it because there's too much to explain. But there you can see all the cars parked in actions, some nurses, some doctors, some orderlies, and the escalator. Um, yeah, such a good game. I wouldn't recommend this to everybody because it's probably not for everybody. But if you're into it, if it sounds like it's something that would be fun for you, then I say check it out. So that is my number 176, Clinic. 175 is a game about terracotta soldiers. And this is called Terracotta Army. This is not the only game about terracotta soldiers we have. We have Xi'an, which I think I put in the blog. Not 100% sure. But in this one, what you're doing is you are trying to build different types of terracotta statues. But the interesting thing is you're doing actions with a triple rondelle. So you can see this rondelle here. There's 3 different, there's an outside, a middle, and an inside. And you're trying to line all these up, spin them around so you can take the perfect action that you want. And you're trying to build these horses, you're trying to build like archers, and you're trying to put them all on this grid here to score as many points as you can. And all of them lay in this, or all the regular terracotta soldiers in different colors are in this cool tray here. You pop them up, and then they come out on the board. It's a worker placement game. There's big workers and little workers. The bigger workers block spaces. Little workers can share. I haven't played it for a while, so I don't know how great that what I said was there. But here's a look at the rondelle. There's the outside, middle, and inside. You can pay coins to rotate pieces as you want to get it lined up the way you want. These are all the actions that you can take. Really fun game. It's kind of brain burny, so I don't get to play it a ton, but I do like it. It's from Board and Dice or whatever they're called, the people who do all the T games, and this is a T game that I really enjoy. So Terracotta Army probably would be higher if I played it more, but still whatever it's rated at 175, it's not bad. So there you go, 175, Terracotta Army. 174 is a 2-player only game that I picked up at, I believe, Origins, I think, maybe Gen Con. And, I actually backed this on Kickstarter. The only reason I picked it up, honestly, is because the art. This is a Weaverson Santiago game. Art is by Weaverson Santiago, and the game's called Sail. This is a 2-player only trick-taking game. Basically, what you're trying to do. Let me see if I can pull up a good picture that shows everything. What you're trying to do is you are playing cards, trick taking style. So follow suit, high card wins, all that kind of thing. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to navigate your ship through these waters without hitting islands or krakens. You're trying to get from the beginning to this ending piece here. So if this player would win a trick, the boat would move this way. If this player would win a trick, the boat would move this way. And if you win with a certain trick, the boat will go straight, which is basically like winning two. And then once somebody wins a certain number of tricks, that's the end of the round. You play 5 rounds, and after a certain number of rounds, you have to be past each of these clouds. If you can't do that, you lose. If you can't make it to the end, by the end, you lose. There's pirates that give you special abilities. Really to go into that. Different suits on the cards will do different things. They can shoot cannons, help you get rid of some cracking cards that you've gotten. Pretty fun game. Another interesting thing is you can't really communicate. So I can't tell you what card I'm going to play. You're going to pass a card at the beginning to kind of give some information, but after that, you go with it and see what happens. So that is Sail. That is my number 174, and a very good game. And that's Sail. 173 is a game that Katie likes a lot more than me, and it's called the 100 Tory. This is a tile placing game, tile laying placement game, where players are trying to build this map together, but you're trying to make it so you can connect different icons. So like these two icons here, the longest path, but also the shortest path, because you're going to have to take the shortest path. So you want your path to be as long as you can to be able to go through a bunch of Tories. The more Tories you go through, the more different tokens you're trying to get. You're trying to get 5 of each of these tokens to score a pile of points. There's some characters you can use. There's an expansion that we haven't played yet. But if you activate a character twice, you're going to get some points. You're just placing tiles, trying to walk through the garden in the shortest path as possible, but you want that short path to be long to get tokens. That's basically it. Looks nice on the table. Awesome Vincent Dutrait art. Good Japanese theme. You know how I feel about that. And here's 100 Tori under a Tori, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that is the 100 Tori, which is my number 173. 172 is another Asian themed game, and this is a dice placement game called Eternal Palace. And what you're trying to do in this is it's just rolling dice and moving up on a bunch of tracks. Let me see if I can find a good picture so I can give you an overview here. How about this one? So you're going to roll your dice behind your screen. You're going to kind of program what you want to do. And you're basically there's a whole bunch of tracks here. You can kind of see them. You're going to be using your dice to go to these locations to move up on tracks. If you get to the top, you're going to get like this painting piece. You're trying to build this paint like this landscape. Every piece you get is worth a point. There's going to be some decorations that are worth some points. There's going to be some bonus points that you're going to get. But ultimately, you're trying to place dice, get resources, turn those resources in for different things, place dice to move up on tracks to score a bunch of points. That's the game. There's the cool painting that you're trying to build right there with all the different layers. You start out with like a plain like mountainside or something, and you get all these like food dogs and all that cool stuff on it. But you can kind of see like moving up the tracks here, track here, dice with like manipulators on top. It's a really fun game. It's the only thing I don't really love is you can play the whole game and get like 12 points and you're the winner. So that feels kind of disheartening in a 60 to 90-minute game. But other than that, I enjoy the journey. I like rolling the dice. I like placing the dice. I like moving up on all the tracks. I like collecting the art. There's some special power cards you can get. It's a really fun game. It's from Alley Cat. If you haven't tried it, if you like dice placement, moving up on tracks, which you know I do, you should try it. So that is my number 170 something. 172, Eternal Palace. 171, and the last one I'm going to talk about in this video is a game from Forbidden Games, I believe, Glenn Drover's company, and this is called Lizard Wizard. And this is effectively the second game in the Tycoon series. The first one's Raccoon Tycoon. This is about Lizard Wizards. It has a lot of Raccoon Tycoon, but throws in some extra pieces. And what you're trying to do is there's some auctions. Let me see if I can find a good picture here. There are auctions, there is set collection, there's special abilities, there's resource management. You're basically trying to do all these things to get cards that work together that have the same kind of symbols that go together. You're trying to get resources that you can spend to buy cards. You're trying to get towers. You're trying to get wizards to go in those matching towers. Um, a whole bunch of things. You're trying to sell back like these goods when they're high, buy them when they're low, stock market type of stuff. So you can get some coins, so you can buy different things. This is a really fun game. It has kind of a lot of rules, and it takes a little bit too long for what I'm looking for in this, but it's really fun. These mats are really cool. I don't have that, but I like that. Um, yeah, it's a simple game at its core. It might be a little too long. It might outstay its welcome, but I like everything that it does. I like the set collection, I like the resource management. I like the way the card play works. You get to play cards to get resources. You're going to use one half of it to take resources and one half to move up tracks. It's really fun. It's a ton of fun. It has a cool like sorcerer theme. It's all animals, lizards, wizard. Hence the name. It's a super fun game. I enjoy it. And that's really all I had to say about it. So my number 171 is Blizzard Wizard. All right, well, there you go. That is another 10 of the 100 beyond the 100. I'm going to try to do these a little quicker. We're going to try to do the podcast a little faster. I apologize. I did finish up the blog. Well, it will be finished here. I have it scheduled and ready to go. So all the 100 beyond the 200 ready to go. So I'm going to try to do these a little better, try to be on top of it a little more, but I'm not going to make any promises because we all know how we are. So I hope you enjoyed that. And until next time, I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics. And as always, keep gaming.